Here loading. I would assume because everything else has decidedly become slow. There. Oh, then it is the weekend, and I actually for once am finished before the appointed time. So I decided to play some games, because of course I would. And since we have not yet done much in the way of actually investigating that nonsense, I thought, you know what? That's probably a good idea to get that out of the way before we, go out into the world and get horribly murdered by, technically speaking, probably the undead. Yeah, those are probably among the most obvious candidates. Luckily, since we still have stuff to talk to and people to look at, be like, I would say we are still pretty damn well off so far. You, and everything should be loaded in a matter of. I actually finished already. That was surprisingly fast. Okay, let me change things around then for you. Like this, like this. No. As you can see, we have actually picked up somebody else. The team's growing. So, little companions here want to talk with each other. So why not, Talk. Talk with each other. Don't be an idiot.
That's quite the valuable gift.
Only the best for my favorite partner. You're pretty
Only
good.
the best for my favorite partner.
Your kindness is a great comfort to me. I'll return this favor at the earliest possible moment.
Doesn't that sound fake as fuck? Kinda like, oh yeah, very, very nice of you, very, very nice. I will return this favor, of course, at the earliest possible date. When I truth, you're thinking to yourself, ugh, bloody hell, obligatory gifts, shit. Now then. Time to go in there and find somebody else who likes to piss us off.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs. You hear?
No, sorry, I wasn't hearing anything. I was reading. Very, very, very sorry. Novice. Mini power stand skill increases both the damage of your melee attacks and your movement speed at the cost of precision. Defensive stance, crushing fist skill book, taunt skill book, whirlwind. Sounds like you have some nice stuff there. Might I interest you in buying some of my nonsense though? Mostly because, Wait. A juggling apple. Might want to keep that. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna, start a career as a juggler in the near future. Disrupt this arm kit. Some weapons. A cup of water. I might actually want to drink that just to know what effects that would have. I mean, I'm assuming feeling somewhat refreshed. Tell me about yourself.
Captain Aureus, if you must know.
Yes, I
leader of
must
the
know.
Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number.
Wouldn't in that case not change all that much, considering the opinion of your man anyway, so... what about Jake's murder then?
Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar.
Yeah, that's pretty usual.
I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother, but he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot.
Maybe it is. You cannot prove the difference. You need a source hunter for that. Idiot.
Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand?
Yeah, I'm not feeling motivated, eh?
This town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter.
I kinda
So
disagree.
investigate
Just
next
kinda, you
if
know?
you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The
Yeah,
scene
sure.
of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you!
On the subject of Jake's corpse.
Stolen?
Hmm.
Gods, what a fool that Roberts is! Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Sicil. Ah, what was he going to do with that gold? Buy the largest kipper in the land?
I mean, who knows? But you know, it's
He has a lot to answer for, but not as much as the one that did the bribing in
Indeed,
the first
indeed.
place. Guess your mission is pretty clear, isn't it? Off you go to find this munificent body snatcher.
I will at some point. Believe you me. Certain Evelyn has been mentioned.
Evelyn? Master
Yes, yes.
Theron's apprentice? Nice lass, huh? Brewed me a potion once that cured me of a rash more bothersome than a badger down your breeches. No, she doesn't seem like the type to play hide and seek with
Yep,
stiffs to
that's
me.
the whole point, isn't it? If she doesn't seem like it, that makes it all the more possible that she is just faking. Yeah? That
You
matches as well.
suspect the mayor? Dear me, you couldn't be further from the mark if you lay the blame on a paraplegic cow. The man raised a foundling orc out of the goodness of his heart, you dolt. A murder indeed.
I had you seen it more decisions.
Dare stand here and accuse me of involvement in this sordid affair?
I was just asking a question.
Dare accuse a captain of the Legion? Get out! Out! Before I have my men erect a gallows and string up a sauce pinata!
Jesus, you like to get out of... Ah, what an unfriendly person. Screaming at me like this. Not much evidence in your evidence chest. But really, was there any reason to go that fucking screaming loud?
I hope your quest fares well, dear hunter.
Oh, yeah, very well. I was just screamed at loudly. Tell me a bit about yourself, right?
But certainly. What would you like to know?
Phew, or rather, what are you then?
I am but a wizard.
Oh,
a
you're pretty
guardian
damn
of man
close
and
me,
beast.
polymorpha.
And indeed, I am both. My body, like any other, is bound to temporal decay. My task upon this earth is to protect the heart of nature. The very antithesis of which, you see, my one desire is to witness a world in which every mother looks around her and purrs with calm contentment. To my
Jesus
great
Christ.
regret, none of them purr as yet.
Yeah, you sound like you have been taking some seriously hard drugs and drink up something very nice. Yeah, sure, tell me about your
No,
cat
but
trick.
that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Such magic is a gift, hunter. To be out in the night. To stalk on silent paws. But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows.
Well, what if you
And,
get stuck
oh,
then?
that'll never happen. Granted, a witch could make the polymorph permanent if she'd enchant me in my cat guise. But I'm my own wizard, you know. And I don't intend to become anyone's familiar. By all
Business, let's discuss Jake's
Of course.
murder.
I hope your investigation fares well.
What happened the night
I
murder?
can but piece together what few morsels fell. They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground. I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none.
Okay,
About
that's
an hour later,
interesting.
another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, a terrible commotion. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I had a good look around the scene of the crime before the Legion barred anyone from entering. The traces of magic I felt were vile.
Who
I
do you
myself have
suspect?
none.
Oh, good.
Even though the rest of the town has already mentally tried and convicted Jake's wife, Esmeralda.
Yeah,
Now,
let's
it
not
may
go there.
well be established that she is in fact the guilty party. I'm not claiming that his body is gone,
Indeed.
replaced with that of a sheep. This is all very disconcerting. Just seems too improbable to be true, but nevertheless. You're onto something, Hunter. Do follow the scent and see where it leads you.
I will do just that, believe you me. I mean, I will at least try. So... anything else about those
I can't
strangers?
say much more, but that and what
fine.
might those be?
The
enemy is
got
what you have
problem.
until they conclude.
Ballistas. Good now, after... because that guy is really getting on my nerves with his... way. So, you know, I'm gonna cut him a bit short. See, at this point I would very much like to just go outside of the city and start murdering undead, because that seems a lot more fun than listening to him ramble endlessly about his stuff and going meow in between, because he can. Well then, let's go into that house here and look what Esmeralda has to say about that. Then we have a murder scene to investigate, and after that... Well, I mean, I guess we could technically start leaving the city and go for, you know, something interesting. Esmeralda's shop.
Oh, but don't you worry, milady. We legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who fear neither orc nor demon.
Yeah. Don't move for me. I'm gonna griff you back. I would do something horrible to you. Is that okay to go in there? Apparently not.
Legion's greetings.
Mm-hmm.
I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. Were that I had been there to partake in the battle. But my duty
You
is
sound
like
horrible.
sworn as I am to protect Lady Esmeralda from the rabble that would enforce summary justice on her.
And you are?
I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9.
Basically, you're worth
Legionnaires
nothing.
all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to sightsee.
So what do you think?
fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Riverlon, my friend. Steadfast, Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy.
Sure, everybody's
And
happy.
what questions are those? Proper soldiers should we've been stationed.
It's always the same. Nobody is bad.
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my complete innocence in the matter?
Nobody cares about your bloody statements. I care about objective facts. Meaning. If I find evidence that puts me on your trail, I will follow it. I will ask questions. So fuck you, basically. Who the frick even are you?
Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow.
Let's discuss your
Like I told
husband's
just
murder.
about every legionnaire in town. I don't know anything about. So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger, and you believe them? These insinuations. Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jet, do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Well, what do you want to know? Well, they came up.
Oh,
Quite adamant about her innocence.
well,
We'll
yes.
need to look for evidence to prove she actually did the evil deed.
Well, then let's go upstairs and take a look around, why don't we? Is somebody up here? Doesn't seem that way, does it? That is mine now.
Only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
I will point out this is all evidence. I'm not doing this to, you know, enrich myself. Smelly panties. This actually gives me charisma for some reason. I don't know why, but sure.
Why is she keeping those on hand anyhow? Sentimental reasons?
I don't know. I really don't know, and I'm afraid to ask. Star Pebble. I mean, it would be a shame to just let that sit here, you know. I can make money off that. Also, it's a pretty nice collection here. Jesus Christ, I'll give him that.
Only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous.
I've got my eyes on the prize.
I mean, come on, you can't just let me sit up here without any, you know, guard. Of course it would end up with me stealing.
Tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion should tragedy befall you on the battlefield?
I suppose so. but seeing that I'm neither married, engaged, or...
What do you think you're doing?
Having.
Polite, handsome, and single. Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone in the dark.
Oh bloody hell, she's fucking... I get XP for just being back here. Can they see me through that door? Because if not, then everything that is in this house belongs to me now. Also, the way she is bloody freaking flirting with somebody while the corpse of her dearly beloved
What a strong and handsome officer you are, kind
is
Septimus.
probably not even all that
You must
cold.
have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, I
A
bet
book
you're a
about
real
setting up
war
the
hero.
perfect crime.
Oh, I'm no hero.
Esmeralda has interesting taste in literature.
She has indeed, yeah. She has
Well,
quite a bit
you
of gold.
certainly are my hero, the rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear, my lady.
An in-chest key. A key to a chest at the inn, you say? Why are those paintings of bloody worth? That's a ridiculous price. Locked, you say? Can you, technically speaking, take care of that if I give you some tools? I don't even have those tools. No, you cannot.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, lady.
Yeah. Wouldn't water scroll.
But what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me, for I might faint.
Bloody fucking hell, she's putting on a bloody show, isn't she? I mean, Jesus Christ. If somebody were that blatantly obvious trying to flirt with me, I'd be like, okay, what do you want? Money? Because I don't have money. Don't mind me, you know, just picking up some stuff, because, you know. So far, this cellar has been quite a disappointment in comparison to upstairs.
Appears to be locked.
Well, I can't reach it apparently. That's saddening. A vital scroll. That's quite worthwhile then. I'm quite happy that I actually went down here.
I was really hoping to find something better.
We all are to some degree. But alas, we have still left time. Jesus. I have a lot of stuff down here. Especially of the eatable variant. So that looks like you're hiding a... Can I actually move this? Actually, that doesn't look like there's a way through, but that looks like there's a way through. One of the rats maybe be able to tell me what's going on here? Stop running away while I'm trying to fucking talk with you, you bloody fucking rat.
Where's Jake? Did he finally run off with that white-haired woman? What was her name? Candice? You know, I don't want to point out the obvious, but probably need to find a switch or something. I would assume.
Problem here is where would such a switch even be? Yeah, sure, pick that up. Because why not? Well, at least I have all the time in the world to do it. There, yeah.
Ah, so that's what that did.
I have some quite nice haul just from this one building. That's good. I found myself some money. I found myself another shovel. Who knows, maybe I will need one. Or maybe a second one. Maybe a third one. Because I now have 3 of those. Don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, but you know. A bloody dagger.
I've got a bloody dagger. Could this have been involved in the crime?
It certainly piques one's interest, doesn't it?
Quite literally, yes. Who the hell keeps a bloody dagger around? That seems like a bit too obvious a, you know, clue. Actually, can I just... Yes, yes, I can indeed. And now I can just walk to the front again and be like, I never was inside your house. I do, however, have a few questions, you know, about that bloody dagger and other things. I would very much like to have answered. Jesus Christ, woman.
The hunter returns. I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth.
Ah, woman. You don't really know me well, do you? You wouldn't mind giving me some of your hard-earned money for, you know, some of the stuff that you totally not missing in your basement, you know, but totally not, of course not.
Listen, if you're going to accuse me of something, you would better find the evidence to back up
I
your
found your
ridiculous
book about
claims.
planning the perfect murder.
Oh, that horrid tome of ill repute. It isn't mine, it was Jake's. He was a politician, don't you see? Always on the lookout for plotting rivals. Always
Can
trying
you
to be
explain
one
this
step
bloody
ahead.
knife?
Perhaps it is you who should explain your presence in my cellar. And the dagger? It's simply a butcher knife used by my late husband. What'll you think of next? Accusing me of bashing him over the head with a frying pan?
I mean, you know. Well, I guess we're kind of missing the necessary ways to prove that that's even human blood. Okay, I'll give you that much. We'll come back to you. Kill the enchantress.
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Okay, give me your healing potions. I think those would probably be very much well in our possession. Language control, pixie dust. Well, you have a lot of stuff. I will give you that much, but I also have a lot of things. Don't ask me where I got those pictures. 1-7.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Shit, misclicked. How about you give me this, and that. I give you
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
getting closer.
tomatoes.
Almost there.
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Finally.
Big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Jesus, that took forever. Now then, lucky for us, we finally got some more healing items. So boy, we were missing some of those. There's a strong push. That's nice. We got that, the bloody dagger.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Match resistance, poison resistance. I get water resistance and HP. Sure. I can take another one of those.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens.
Just one charisma.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Those are actually better than mine. Down the line we go. Sure. And ever on down the line we go. Till the very end. Kinda works, you know. Do I have anything else we wanna pull down the line? Kinda doesn't look like it.
Halibut, sheep's cheese.
Apart from that.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
No, I don't think we have anything else here.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
So good. Or not.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best that louse. Did he even bother grilling a single luscious chop? I bet he wasted every last morsel.
And running away she does. Why, you might wonder, because she can.
I'm a painter. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and...
I mean, you have all the nice stuff, I give you that, but don't care.
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison?
Fast
Get to the
skin. So the person I'm supposed to talk about when it comes to stuff like this. Okay. Now the only thing we have actually left, I would say, is actually looking at the murder scene. So I guess we should do that, shouldn't we?
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not?
Yes, yes.
The hero the whole of Sightseal is abuzz about. The talk of the town. The juiciest grape on the grapevine. Such a...
Well.
No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's
And you are...
Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but
We're not worried about the undead then?
undead a problem, my friend? But those who know the ways of the fabulous five see... Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once in a... Not in the mood for cheese.
Well, you know, technically speaking, we are here to do some duty.
I'm here to do my duty, which is hardly the same as adventuring.
Agreed. Adventuring implies frivolity. Duty does not.
You may tell yourself you dislike adventure, but the mud on your boots and the blood on your blades say otherwise. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of...
Well, I can't say that.
Yes, some extra gold is always welcome.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty obvious. Nobody ever earns enough, you know.
Indeed. Indeed, gold is always. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary.
There is no shame in following directives if your masters are worthy of your trust.
True enough. We serve a just cause, so why wouldn't we follow our orders?
Indeed. Sometimes you just have to accept it, you know, in a bigger system. You're just, you know, part of it. You don't necessarily need to be a leader all the time.
Come now. I refuse to believe such a uniquely skilled individual would settle for a puppet's role, and that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by... the fabulous five. How I enjoy simply saying the words.
I would probably get very much
describe
sick from
the
hearing
most
that over and
illustrious
over again.
Celebrated Adventurers Guild in Riverlon. Our mission, to better the world. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you
Well,
would.
so what do your
Now
members
you
actually
can.
freaking do?
What a gem of a question. Straight as an apple. Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of knight is of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five and thereby draw new... By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has. Work hard. Fulfill
Jesus Christ. He's a salesman.
You old bat.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to her? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, you potato-eating peasant.
Let us not just get, you know.
Never saw you in the king crab before. You're welcome to scratch me behind the ears if you like. I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank, and I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. The people here were kind and took me in. Been the king crab's foremost patron ever since. A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told.
Interesting.
Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right neath the lighthouse. Not very apt a name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it. The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. So I was. What friends I had. They drowned alongside the... Not that I have it bad here, mind you. I've milk and fish aplenty. Most folks will pet me kindly, and when one of the village girls holds me tight against her ample bosom, I purr up a storm. But I do long for a companion. Maxine, the mayor's darling pet. So gentle. So... She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I've serenaded her and braved many a by all means. People make a fuss about them because they endanger the lands around the city.
Indeed.
They never bother me when I'm out for my monthly walk, though. But still, I do test them. I mean, they're so unnatural, aren't they? Oh, don't mention orcs to me. Worse than dogs, that lot. Sank Walrus Willie's boat right from under him.
So you're just hanging around
A source
again.
hunter?
Yes.
I'd like to report some dark magic. Only tainted hearts could tip as miserably as this lot. I think I'm one of the last folks to hear him alive. That awful scream has been ringing in my ears ever since. And with the rumor, though, that's the question, isn't it? What
Yeah, that is precisely the question.
did happen?
You brought it to a very nice
It was
point there.
Esmeralda who checked into that room, and the Duke that followed her. I was washing up and nudging the last of the lushes out of the door when a cloaked woman rushed in right past me. I never got a good look at her. Lucky for the perpetrators, I was rinsing bottles in the back when the terrible deed took place and saw nothing more. I'm not proud to say I ducked under the counter and damn well stayed there till I heard Ivad fling that door open. but I was paralyzed.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty damn normal reaction, I would say.
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my day just became rather more tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face, quite classical, isn't it? And my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Please forgive my being forward, but I dare say, can it be?
Tell me about yourself,
Anna,
then.
jewel in the crown that is. I've cut 1,000 throats and baked 1,000 bread rolls.
Interesting
stolen
combination.
the crown jewels of the Queen of Arata, and with my pockets full, helped her reach enlightenment. When the day comes
That sounds
that I die,
some
the gods will
strange,
evacuate
but
the
you know.
heavens to make space for my formidable collection of designer slippers. I contain multitudes, you see, and I am utterly replete. Except that, much to my dismay, I had as yet to find the companion to whom. But then, Source Hunter, you've
been looking for someone.
for nearly a lifetime, it seems. I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit within you. Yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away, as soon as time permits.
Jesus fucking Christ,
team,
20 Fabulous
we'll
Five?
explore the boundless realm before us. We'll...
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not there? What do you mean, not familiar? You expect me? Why? I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance.
you?
Although, it'd be worth checking. And don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five to boot. Sure, those nasty beasts are hardly worth my... Your interest is piqued, I see. I'd suggest you have a word of warning.
Jesus
Come, darling,
Christ.
don't dither. You must speak with Mendius and join the Fabulous Five. Yes, you must speak with Mendius.
I must do no such thing. I can. Do not have to.
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me.
So, who are you?
How did you know? How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Can I tell you? I suppose I...
Jesus Christ.
Now, your head's grown more swollen than saffrons, I dare say.
Bladorix! That! Ha! Quite under my spell, aren't you? Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Surrounded by stupid people and other such strange beings. And I guess, you know,
Greetings,
you kinda get used to Lurch
may the immaculate
quite a lot.
conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. You mean you haven't heard? Oh, steel yourself, friend. For your mortal spirit could be forever. By following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way, we can each of us live on for a for this there. She showed what's in
Jesus
a name,
Christ.
dear. Go on the path to the...
Why are they a normal person?
He says he's an immaculate. But I thought they'd been banished after the death of the Source King.
Hearty welcome to the King Crab Inn, and a pleasure to have you. You look like you could use a round or three, so what'll it be?
If you talked lately to your patrons, I'm just gonna point out, you know, if you start doing that, you would be willing to drink more than just one.
Wizard of Hunter's Edge.
3 hopeless sailors. Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject? That room where it happened, she came heavily cloaked. Paid the full sum in advance. I saw one other figure go into the room that night. Someone tall, built broad like a man, but shrouded. I was startled awake by a horrendous... By the time I burst into that room, it was horribly silent. There was only Jake on the floor. Whoever done it has escaped through the window. But I saw nary a soul when I looked out. You can bet I hightailed it to the Legion barracks. Councillor Jake, that poor Esmeralda's longest-standing lover, has the audacity to remain lodged at this very inn, you know? He's called the Duke of Ferrell. A high title for a low man. Well, between you and me, things have been rather... The names they've had. Please, all you see...
Yeah, so far so good, I suppose.
Greetings, Source Hunter. Not exactly the friend...
Drink, if you please.
Please do.
Not even worth the rummaging.
Yeah, it actually does look good. quite a bit like a freaking battlefield. Let me lie down for a second. Letter from the Duke of Ferrara.
It's official. The Duke of Ferrol is the worst poet in Rivellon.
Wow, we've got that officialized.
Defense, not much rhymes with murder.
Evidence. That's to point it out. It's evidence. But I don't think we can get much more out of this.
Maybe the lock can be jimmied.
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instrument.
There's a bodyguard. When there's a bodyguard, I could probably mention something that would get me killed.
Greetings! Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rarely find me up here, but I do so abhor the hustle and bustle of the marketplace.
Lower resistance, strength, willpower, king touch, rapture, hours of desecration, malediction, vampiric touch.
That I am. I've spent more of my life on the road travelling. You wouldn't believe some of the things I have seen. Oh yes, you have seen them, have you not?
Yes, yes.
Is anything amiss? A punch-on perhaps, yes. I have the blood of sorcerers in my veins. And between you and me, the blood of sorcerers too. The power of sorcery is so very alluring, you know. But let us change topics. For should...
We happen to be source hunters, actually, and will most certainly kill you very
We
dead.
happen to be source hunters, actually, and we will most certainly kill you.
Sorcery is like an incurable disease.
Gods have mercy. You're a source hunter. But I never really dabbled in source.
They'll end it all! End it all in blood!
I will point out that it was probably a very bad idea to, you know, use that as your spiel. Hey, we found some sorcery, didn't we? We found some sorcery.
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer.
Range plus that improves damage with bow, crossbow, ricochet. Nice. Can't really hit you. Can't really hit you because we don't have enough. Treat poisoning. Just knocking people down because we can.
By the filed teeth of Soon.
And I can encourage people.
The end is nigh. Death comes a creep.
Why are the citizens deciding to run in here? And we don't have enough, have we? Could you stop hexing?
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of
Charm? That's even worse. That is indeed even worse.
all hail his hot-steeled instruments.
Ouch.
I must stop this hemorrhage!
You make a very good point there. You should try to stop that.
Into the fray once more!
Will you actually get up at one point, or are you going to continuously stay down? Just gonna ask, you know. Can we move away from here? Not without getting murder-cated. Which might be a good opportunity to use something else, or we have a special arrow that would make me happy. Oh, knockdown arrow sounds pretty damn useful.
The hunters go stalking in the night by
That worked somewhat well. That's not good. Terror type. I need to remember that. For it being very much deadly. Yeah. I can already see why I'm getting attacked. Well, he died a very interesting death, didn't he?
The hunters go stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all.
Cut your stop with your freaking monologue. Also, why am I getting attacked? I'm just doing my freaking job, technically speaking.
Seven, have mercy on your soul.
You know, citizens, 1 and 2. You're going to regret that.
As good as a new penny.
Just gonna point that out.
Die, vermin!
Well, indeed. I mean, he has absolute right. They are freaking vermin. Jesus Christ, you are an annoying little fucking bastard, aren't you? Yeah, he's a bit of an annoying cunt, isn't he? I said I need to go over there. I did find a skill book. Hello, Wundergräber.
Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer.
I swear to God, shut the fuck up.
All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
Swear to God.
You've come. Yes. That is most satisfactory. My name? The game, yes! The elves, all her... I have tracked her down. By the... Yes. The orc, her name? Victor.
Jesus.
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
You know, just kinda strange. And he just shut up for the love of God.
Like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
He is as much a savage as those orcs. And how is Victoria guilty of her...
Indeed. Victoria...
I mean, you know, nobody's here to stop me. I'm going to steal all your little pictures. You might be wondering yourself, why? Yeah. I don't think we want to get through that door in any particularly meaningful way or speed. Well. I mean, the good thing is I can get some stuff out here. You already see.
Teeth of Sulumar's soul shredder. The end is nigh.
Yeah, I sure hope.
Creeping for you, Victoria!
That guy's a bit of a problem, hasn't he? Just the smallest bit of a problem, I would say. Bloody hell. Ah, I'd rather stay down here. Really, I do.
demon, back or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you... I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time.
Well, then introductions.
I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your... Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, See, I'm here on... Well, let's call it a loan from... There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages, either. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again.
Oh, sounds reasonably well.
I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest by the skin
did
of
you
my
even
teeth,
come down
comrade.
here then?
The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me from... Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my... I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, well, you know the
sounds
old
like a deal, you
expression.
know.
2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs...
Is that an old friend?
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters...
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the...
That's the spirit.
Yes, yes.
Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc.
Yeah, I sure hope that they are shaking the boots. Or the booties.
Hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have. Like
Tell me about
the
yourself.
Duke of Ferrell. Though I suppose... Yes, she and I have a history. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I. Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel a murder. Which one? I've written Esmeralda more works of lyrical mastery than I can count. All that letter proves is my devotion to my lady, not any actual intention. It's very tragic news. I won't pass which...
Not in the mood for cheese.
I smell...
Excuses more home than a
the
slice of
fierce
this
stench of
fine
frightened source goblin.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes. Yes, of course. This
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Interesting, interesting, interesting.
zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Well then, we have dealt with that
Quiet day
too.
on the market, it seems.
What actually does that leave me with?
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
It's really not really all that much now to think about it.
Halibut, sheep's cheese,
There and there. There's my little quest log. Say.
sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Hmm.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Well then, we have a log full of quests, but at least one of those we can finish off. That's not what I wanted to do. Because we can go to the harbor and actually tell the sailors that we found somebody who is more than willing to take them. So we have one less quest, at least. Good beginning as any, if I Would be so honest. Actually, what does my inventory tell me? I can use this while they're moving, can't I? That does help me. That, on the other hand, seems like something that would very much be better. Nice antique clothes shoes offer water air, 7 water resistance and +1 watering. Down you go.
Now in, he drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the lizard councillor's wife.
Was the source hunter? Go on.
On you go.
Oh, a source hunter. Who better to
On
ask?
you go.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Feddle's carriage for a joyride? Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the lizard councillor's wife.
You
there! Where can a few honest sailors find a living wage around here? That loopy legionnaire really thinks that orky charm loves
Curse
him.
the gods. Is it so difficult to find a day of labor?
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Feddle's carriage for a joyride?
No, indeed. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take any. So there's a captain.
Yes, there is indeed a captain offering you boost and work. Not necessarily in that, you know, way around, but he does offer. And after all, labor is first and foremost labor. Now we have that out of the way too. Question then is, do we want to go a bit outside then? I think I want to go on a bit of exploration, you know. Is there anything I have... anywhere I've not yet been? I guess I wasn't here yet. I should probably do that. I mean, that's the King Krabby. There's this whole apartment block here where I have not yet been, and you know, that's well, this is where the mayor is actually. Of course, we want to go in there and do exploring stuff. More exploring stuff. Why would the bathroom be locked? Just gonna ask the obvious question.
Welcome to the Town Hall of Sysil. Mayor Cecil is waiting for you inside.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Coleman there. Feed a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Welcome to the Town Hall of Sysil. Mayor Cecil is waiting for you inside.
Nice.
A sauce hunter! Oh, what a sight for sore Sicilian eyes! Me? Oh, he's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worried. For my part, I encouraged him to that band of... oh, I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes. and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see.
You sure I just saw a cat somewhere?
Golly gosh! One who flaunts the highways and byways of silly old Sicile with the easy elegance of a puss with her tail in the air. I do declare such a... But where are my manners? I am Maxine, and you... I'm the mayor's cat, don't you know? Born and raised on velvets and viands of most exquisite varieties. Maxine rhymes with queen, after all, and dearest. That is hardly a... Oh, he's a darling old Tom, isn't he? Paws over tails in love with me, and who can blame him? The feelings, at the risk of sounding as shallow as a spaniel, I can't but admit my love does not come unconditionally. What if we were to have kittens, he and I? They'd jolly... Oh, dear Sam, he's such a good old bean. But he does rather reside at the bottom of the scratching pole, doesn't he? And dear me, one must have at least a mite of stand. But of course, darling, heavens forbid. No, fear is rather...
That cat has a very, yes, peculiar standard.
Treasure!
That doesn't belong to us, you know.
We're source hunters. We should be able to access any of the resources.
Well put. Hunting out source is no easy job, and we need...
What?
See?
Oh, it's you.
Give me your tissues.
Oh, myself.
Give me your
What?
tissues.
Oh, you mean the undead? That's not and
Everything we prefer. Tell me, what did you
no
prefer?
white bloke. Apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense, the whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Sicile is to spend a... What?
The
what now? Ah, you mean the staff of Pergamon. Cecil proved it all. His name is Conrad, captain of the Tide Splitter, a merchant ship still docked at the Sicile harbor. You can talk to him if you think the staff itself can... Well, oh, this is nonsense. That depends...
Marvelous.
I knew that dark-dealing old man dabbled in source. To the gallows, I say.
The gallows? Well, I've heard of such a thing, but I've never seen one myself. I don't think I care to either.
Not really worth it. You know, we are doing this just for our, as usual, investigation, of course. Not for any, you know, other reasoning or anything. No. This is all just for investigation purposes. Of course. Apples. I mean, you know, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and the next doctor is dead reasonably skilled, although quite arrogant. Now, why don't we use this nice little trick of ours?
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
Miss Heroes of Rock, Paper, Scissors managed to convince the other party. Finds a new charisma to gain an advantage. Press space to skip DRPS. Jesus. Ouch. Stony. Piper. Stony.
A magical pyramid, eh? Frivolous and lecherous magic, more like. Leave my house. For the divine...
That's what you get for trying?
Out! No!
If she
you
soaks in
please.
flower stink much
This
longer,
room is
dear will
private.
smell this lady from a field away. I'll save a leg of something good for when she begins the
grand
starve.
abundance.
All right, comrades.
Don't
Nothing
just
to see.
stand there.
It's clear.
Go.
Give the lady of the house
Away
a bit
with
of
you.
privacy.
What do you think you're doing?
You won't miss that key.
What do you think you're doing?
Jesus Christ, woman. Stop shouting. It's not like you were going to miss anything just for me dropping by while you were taking a freaking bath. Also, why the frick do you take a bath anyway like this?
What? Oh, it's you! What, someone wants to see Victoria dead? Then hear you me. You must stop that dog by any means necessary. As mayor of Sicil, you have my permission. Jake? Murdered, you say? Maxine? What in heaven's name are you? I spent months trying to teach that worthless hound how to fetch, and it sat through every lesson looking at me as if I weren't. I've always been more fond of cats myself. That depends. Ah, the library. Marvelous.
Let us not go into too much detail about this horribleness that is going on here.
What? Oh, yes, my yes, what?
Yes, yes.
A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned.
Demonium.
Teleron will have to pay yet
know it
another
by heart.
fine.
Yeah, I think people would get some.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for.
In the name of Amun-Hur, I bid thee Tujda get a hal. Be welcome, human. My library. I am Victoria. When I was very young, the fisherman who he raised me like I was his. Indeed, you may. Kira Lizor. Oh, do pardon my language. Does he not see that I am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures? So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from leg fizzoda? It would probably be better if you...
I'm sure I can deal with him. I mean, worst case scenario, he's going to get really crazy and attack me, in which case I have an excuse to murder him. Murdering him means I get experience. So generally speaking, sounds like a pretty sweet plan as far as I'm concerned. All well and truly.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I lead you over long while lighting my pipe.
At some point in the near future, I will actually, you know.
Here I wait for thee in the dark. But the... Yes. 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 Her name, Victoria. My name...
And you can just tell him to fuck off.
Here I wait for thee in the dark. But the stab...
So who do I need to talk to get it out of the way?
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
Yeah, let's not stay here any longer because he's going to start mumbling and screaming again. I don't want to sit through that again.
What's with you, bipeds and beer? No better drink than milk. Aye, so there's the rub. I am but a stray, and she is the mayor's cat. Oh, I do understand her, I do. Would that I still had my collar. Such a marvel it was, as bejeweled as the night sky with precious stones, said to have once been worn by a fop like the king of all cats I looked when I wore it. A gift bestowed upon me by a princess whom I had kept company during a long and perilous voyage. Among the waves it remains, I imagine. Worn perhaps by a crab who fancies himself a Caesar with it. If only I could be the... I think I'll sleep by the fire tonight. Aye, So wood, like the among the wind.
Okay, so as long as I don't just stumble upon that, I guess I won't have much to say. And I guess if I want to have somebody arrested, I need to talk to the Legion, wouldn't I? And they should be technically speaking responsible for that, shouldn't they? Yeah, they should be, actually. Let's try to lock them. Let's see if this is actually going to work out. We shall see, shan't we?
About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits!
Da, 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 da.
Again!
Aye, Mr. Head Honcho
At any
Legionnaire.
moment.
The Source Hunter says that creep Robert stole my sheep.
And
Well, aren't you going to arrest that stinking thief?
I'll have a talk with him, madam. Oh, what now? Whom would you have the Legion of the Elf? What in the name of a...
He wants us to kill Victoria.
It's true. He said...
So, he wants you to kill that savage the mayor calls his daughter, does he? Hardly seems a crime to do so. But I guess I cannot allow us, as I suspected.
you making this a lot more difficult than it needs to be, you bloody bastard.
About face!
So that could very well end up actually, you know.
To the barracks! March!
That's the sort of thing which is going to end up waiting until she's actually dead. Because then you finally have proof that something's afoot, and even then you'd be like, well, we can't really prove it was him, you know? Could have just been a stray bullet or something. Yeah, sure, sure. Could be. So many things could be. I still have stuff to sell. Technically speaking, yes. Yes, I do. We take all of that. No resistance as skill book. Increase all limit resistance of enemies around you. One perception, plus 9% stats. Perception, that's something you are good at? Question mark? Identify. Plus 2 initiative, unlock skill, fire absorption, shield. You equip that. Gift it all the way up. Equip the ring, equip the boots. Because everybody needs a good pair of boots. Of course, of course, of course. Push it down the ladder and I think a bit of an outward excursion is in order. We've been sitting in this town for quite a while at this point, and you know, I'm kind of getting, you know, a bit bored with the peace and quiet.
Excellent. Let's keep it that way.
Toasty!
Good luck out there, Hunter. Evil lurks beyond Saiseal's ramparts.
Yeah, evil lurks everywhere, believe you me.
It never rains, but it pours, eh?
I'm making a good point there.
Sodden all the way to my boot soles.
Yeah, probably not the most pleasing of things, but you know. Would you even hit that? Well, technically speaking, you could. Let them come a bit closer so we don't have to run all the bloody way. reason to do that ourselves now. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. Missgeklickt. Chip. 5 HP. Oh shit. And you managed to get yourself poisoned. Boom. And boom. That takes care of that poison swine. Not enough action points. Clong. And clong. Yeah, very damn obvious. So it's not when they're like, death is their own. Yeah, of course it is. Of course, death is its own deliverance. Are you trying to sound smart there? Because, point being, you didn't really sound smart there. Too far away, eh? Okay. I mean, my chances weren't the best, I will admit that much. Well then, let us wait patiently. Actually, you know what? I heal you a bit. Wow. A fumbling Terramancer. Quite a few of them, aren't they? I don't like the odds necessarily. Oh well. I guess it could be worse.
Shocking power.
And you stun both of them.
The time of your death is at hand.
Pretty much, yeah. We're going to murder them. You failed. Quite horribly even. I mean, so far so good, we seem to have this somewhat under control. Very great. Bling! Let's get rid of the mage. Mage could be a bit of a problem. I mean, not much of a problem, but at least an annoyance. He could very well manage. Click, click. But I mean, he is flanked, which is good. Ouch. Ouch.
I can reach farther than you think.
Actually, quite true. Quite true indeed. You missed. That's not overly impressive.
Bless the seven, I am restored.
Yet you are indeed, thanks to the power of, generally speaking, evil magic, but let's not go into that too detailed. Well, admit zombies are kinda, you know, kinda tough to deal with.
Seven, have mercy on your soul.
That was a pain in the ass to deal with. Can you shoot that? I mean, admittedly, you can shoot that, which is good. Catch you. Don't let me catch you. I do horrible things to you if I can. Believe you me. Oops, I misclicked. I actually wanted to do something with that. Well. No. Who cares about what I wanted?
Sodden all the way to my boot soles.
Yeah, bit of a pain in the ass that, but you know. Yep. That helped. Somewhat, that is. Not really perfectly, but you know. Also, apparently my sword is getting damaged. The two I find rather unpleasing. Picking up stuff, picking up stuff. Generally speaking, though, I should probably look for some upgrades to my equipment and especially to my skill set rather soonish. It doesn't have to be right now, but it should probably be amongst the next things I'm actually doing. Mostly because yeah, I can absolutely foresee this ending pretty much already. I feel kinda unprepared here. Or, well, underprepared, maybe, too a good way of saying it. More food. I mean, I'm sure some of this food has pretty nice buff abilities and all of that, but oh shit, a whole field of enemies, eh? It takes bloody forever to refresh. I'm just gonna point it out. It really does take bloody forever. Especially considering that we still have 2 wounded people. It's a pretty damn useful ability though, mind you. Cure wounds. I think I want to have more people actually having that ability. An undead archer, an undead archer, 3 undead archers. I mean, well, okay, so far so good, but I really need to get those into melee range. Otherwise this is going to end up very, very badly. Okay, let me make a quick save and see how much damage they be able to do. Are you kidding me? That is definitely not what I had anticipated. To be fair, I was not expecting that, but it did turn out rather well.
Your head will spin faster than my blade.
We shall see about that. I have yet to see that actually happening.
Ironclad and fleet of foot, I'm invincible.
Well, so you claim at least. Well, that undead archer is the last one remaining. Annoyance. Yep, your chances weren't really good, but you know. Can of course only try that often. Not bad, undead archer. I'll give you that much. Yeah, it's a poison arrow. That does seem like a freaking poison arrow. I mean, I can depoison myself.
I need a remedy.
I will, however, almost immediately get poisoned again, obviously. Give me your health. I've decided that murder suits me rather well. Now then, the poison is probably gone by this point. Avatar Fire Scroll.
Heard any good tales, my friend? Fine, my friend.
That was not what I wanted to do. I misclicked. Buy me game. Yes, I will point out that yeah, it's rather resistant, isn't it? Just gotta point it out.
Ugh, I'm dripping.
I, however, see quite nicely a portal very close by.
Looks like more of the Legionnaires sent to investigate the lighthouse.
Stay sharp, or we'll end up the same.
Yeah, that's probably not how we want to end up. Now, where would she be hiding? I guess here?
Source hunters, I've been eagerly expecting you.
Mm-hmm.
You found another starstone, haven't
you. Go on. Ask me how I know.
Well, sure, if you're feeling better about yourself.
Child's play when you know what to look for, and luckily, I do. Do you remember when it's happened again, my friend? Another. It's all connected somehow. You, this place, the void.
What have you discovered?
That I'd presume to explore it before you. No, I'm sure it's nothing. It's just that beyond the portal, I sense a presence that. But this is only speculation, of course.
Well, this had indeed activated, hasn't it? Oh, interesting.
How might I serve our mission?
I wonder who awaits you in the next chamber.
Not the slightest clue, and I don't overly much care.
What an impressive room.
So it is. A hall fit for kings.
Interesting. Very interesting. Let us plunder everything we can then. What is it? A blank fire scroll. I don't care. I'm probably going to sell you anyway. Okay, before we talk to people, I'm going to take a look around and steal everything we can. Of course we're going to do that. Steam generals. I'll take a rest. Relaxing. Also healing, which is pretty nice. Free healing. I'll take it. A fork at the end of time. It's a one-handed weapon. It is. It's not worth much. It's potentially worth something. Another of those ancient diaries. Yeah, sure. Is there any worth to this nonsense? Because it really doesn't look like there's any worth to it, and that means I'm not going to bother stealing it. Yeah, doesn't really look like it's worth it.
You. It cannot be you. But it can only be you. The Guardians.
Really?
Those I deceived. Those, but oh, how weak you have become. As weak as you used to be strong. That it
Don't care
has
much.
come to this.
Don't really care much, yeah.
Woe to the He won't believe me, the fiend.
Okay, if you just basically, yeah, nice.
I prayed they would. Could they save me yet?
Hello. I have sent you
Heard
here.
any good tales, my friend?
Come join me. Join me again. What do you have to say, people?
Wouldn't you look fine with a strapping warrior at your side?
Mhm.
Or is it mages you prefer? An eagle-eyed ranger? A stealthy pick? Of course! Back again? Of course, Chief. But maybe you ought to get rid of some of your...
Oh, fine. Don't like it. I do like dress myself, have companions. Harbor, Northgate, Tranquil Beach. Let's go back to the harbor and take a look. What nonsense we have in our inventory. Also, I think I need to repair my sword at some point. Where was the marketplace? Here. There should be more than enough merchants. Some of them have something useful in the inventory that I would very much like to call my own. Or well, I hope. Don't really remember much. about that in particular. Could be worse, I suppose.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until he's
Oh, who knows, who knows.
cheese,
Don't
tomatoes.
scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like? 3? 11?
Jesus Christ, woman.
Cheese, tomatoes.
Yeah, all the one-handed stuff. That's all nice and dandy. Jesus, that's really not worth it.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many chases.
That we might want to try. You can go, you can go, you can go.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many chases. Aaron has as many friends as the man with many chases.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice of
Nice.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the...
Let me first change things around to take a look.
Get it while it's fresh.
One of those is probably not worth much. If I take a look at that, that is actually better than what I have. It does give me a bit, but not much. Don't really worth it, I would say. Nope. And you didn't too. Not really helpful.
On the move for cheese. No excuse is more home than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Plus 3 chance from critical, it's kinda nice. Plus 7 HP. Nah. You know, nice and dandy. Nothing that I'm really like, oh yeah, we totally need that.
Unknown to all time, are you? Leave it to an imp to try. I'll tell you who you are. Source hunters. Members of the most esteemed order in Rivellon. Here to find out and grind out every last speck of dark magic in the realm. There. The enigma is solved.
This batch is only hours from the sea.
I knew you weren't the type to be taken in by such...
How lovely to see you again.
We are pretty pragmatic when it comes to stuff like this. Pragmatism rules, my friends. It really does. Your money. And now we can travel again.
Sheep's cheese.
Desolated Farms, was it? Yeah, that's the one outside here. Now then, according to my map, great and powerful as it is, we shall take a look around outside here. A bit more, just a bit more. Oh, at least the rain has finally stopped.
It never rains, but it pours, eh?
And just for a second, and it starts again. Great. Well, if we can't go down there, I guess we are gonna have to go up here then. Oh well. One has to live with that.
You haven't got what it takes. I'll do it myself.
Oh, thank the seven. Lucia, it's the Source Hunter. We're not going to die on this haunted cliff after all.
Who's dying? We're just resting up. The calm before the storm. There's certainly something fishy happening. The light shines sure as the tides. Though there's not been an attendant there for nearly 2 decades. Our platoon made a pact with Selenia. We'd check out the light.
What Selenia failed to mention was that it wasn't just the ghosts at the lighthouse we had to worry about. It was every savage skeleton on the way there and back too. When we started, we were...
Survival of the fittest, I say. We're just here marshalling our strength.
Ha! Marshalling our strength, indeed. To be honest, we've been shaking like chihuahuas.
Malleus, your dignity's in a puddle at your feet. So, what do you say, Source Hunter?
You'll go to the lighthouse and straighten matters out?
Yeah, I can kinda see where you're coming from. I mean, I'm not that much of an idiot, so, you know. I can kinda see that this is going to be not all that easy. I'm sure there's something going to be up there. Okay, alcohol is probably not a good idea. Apple juice. Consume apple juice. Poison resistance. Sight +1, speed -1. Okay, there's the book. Okay. Even the game is saving.
The further we go, the more bodies we find heaped around.
We must be closing in on where they were headed.
Well, I would assume so. Going by the, you know, corpses. A lupine horror, you say? That's not what I wanted to say, and you damn well know it, game. Now, I need a fire roll.
Unleash the inferno!
Oh, sadly I missed. Kinda thought I could actually hit one of them. That oil barrel should absolutely be, you know, burning.
Get there, my pets! Rise from your grave!
We did kinda hit. It didn't really do much, but we did kinda hit. Okay, I actually wait for them to come a bit closer, because I don't think we have the necessary distance to hit them well. They're really not taking much damage now, are they? That's kind of saddening, actually. I was hoping for just a bit more, you know? Explode skeleton. That's a name. Watch. I don't know how you made it, but that was actually rather impressive. I give you that much. Did you manage to poison an undead? Doesn't sound like a very useful ability. That on the other hand. You're making a very good point there.
You can't keep still.
Do we have enough points? We have.
I need another chance.
I did hit one of them, so far so good. Not gonna complain overly much about that.
Ironclad and fleet of foot, I'm invincible.
So far.
Baking like a cake.
Yeah, but it also means the other one is also gonna be burning, like, you know. Ouch.
My life is ebbing away.
He exploded. He had murdered more of the enemies than actually of my people. You're a bit of an idiot, aren't you?
Is its own deliverance.
Burning beard. I'm immune to this nonsense. Down it
I prefer
goes.
to drown my sorrows with ale.
I mean, instead of actually drowning.
Face the unending darkness.
Well, all things considered, this went... What would it 90 better than one would, you know, expect? I mean, there kind of was that whole exploding thing, but that actually helped. Now, it might sound surprising, but you know, I'm not really against that. If it works. Shit. Okay, to walk through the fire.
I need to dry off.
Main question is what to actually do about that bloody fucking fire. I mean, do I need to deal with that fire? That's actually a very interesting question. I don't really think so. Okay, not if I can walk around. Intestines. Yeah, that's totally something we should pick up. For some reason. Who would buy those? Avatar of Poison skill book. Yeah, I do like finding skill books. Mostly because I don't really know much about, you know, what useful skills actually are around. I should probably look it up at some point, but you know, where's the fun in that? Perception speed, constitution. Let's go 10 strength. Then we're going to slowly pull up constitution and other things. Defense, bodybuilding, specialist, shield specialist, willpower, skills, main at arms. Bartering, charisma, leadership. Intelligence, speed. Let's get that stat up. You already have one. Bodybuilding, you have one skills. Do we need anything of this? I mean, Man at Arms has cure wounds, and that is something I would actually like her to have too. We already have two there, that's nice. Oh, pretty nice. Bow, crossbow, dual wielding, single-handed band, so what's this? Specialist. One in bow. I also equip more powerful 10 Brio weapons, what the hell? Marksman. I don't really feel like you have anything on your hand.
Things got pretty hairy there for a bit. I could feel the very Reaper breathing down my neck.
Don't you worry. As long as I'm there to heal you, you'll come to no harm.
Thank you. I know you.
That means I should get along very well. Kill yourself.
Ah.
Well then, in we go, in we go. Apparently we cannot go up, so I guess it's downtime.
These walls, my home, my hell. I may have died, but my guilt lives on and on.
That doesn't sound good. Rather ghosty, my friend. Rather ghosty indeed.
The ship, the waves, the cold, wild sea. And I, the maniac in the darkened lighthouse. Oh, folly. Oh, grievous sin.
Whatever you say, man, just let me take a bit of stuff. Then we're gonna think about your folly and what nonsense.
I've spotted something.
Glass ruby.
The ship, the waves,
You should spot a lot more. That's reasonably worthwhile.
and I,
The maniac in the lion. Yes,
oh,
yes.
dearest Desdemona.
Back on my feet again.
Living eyes that can see the shape of death.
Yes.
Avert your gaze,
No.
wanderer, for you are looking upon the phantom of a murderer.
Yeah, man. Don't care. Ja, du mir leer hier, du.
Skeletons roam the lands, restless as my troubled soul, but shall not find their lair here.
Give me a bit of yourself.
Was my name a long time ago. I know not why upon my death I became a ghost, doomed. If so, their punishment was just. Each night I wake the flame in the lighthouse.
You call yourself a murderer. Why?
That indeed is the tainted title I must bear, and deservedly so. For 15 years ago to the day, it was that I sat atop my lighthouse, the flame
Oh, that's not very nice.
and what deliberately had I forgone to do my duty. Willfully, why did I commit this act of blackest horror? Jealousy, anger, the bitter anguish of a broken heart. Those are the ancient ills that drove me to madness.
Ah, bloody hell, it's one of those stories, isn't it?
As I knew
Ah.
she would be, my wife. Possessed as I was by the demons of envy, ire, and torment. I decided that if I had her love no longer, yet no sooner had the water closed its spuming jaws around the perishing vessel below, that the extent of my offense dawned on my beleaguered mind.
Quite a story that ghost had to tell.
These walls,
Not every day one hears about a lighthouse keeper sinking ships just because his wife proved to be unfaithful.
Aye, a pitiful creature. Torn up so badly by the loss of love that it...
Yes, I am.
The darkness of day.
Well, at least we know now that there's no undead layer here.
Ugh, I'm dripping.
And we now know also why the lighthouse is lighting up every bloody night. No, there's actually a ghost around, little mouse. There actually is, for once. Not the most impressive, of course, mind you, but a ghost nonetheless. And okay, so that's the cave down on the beach.
Now. We've got to show these spooks
Come
the
on, no,
meaning of
thank you, no,
legion.
I'm not a roast
How did
enough.
it go? Don't...
If you want to reap your reward, you can risk the trip yourself.
Indeed. If they've made a pact, it's their responsibility to live up to their end of it in both word and deed.
Indeed.
Be that way. If you nobodies could do it, we'll have...
I need a moment to reflect.
What good is a source hunter without a healthy sense of self? It takes a strong eye to face the powers of darkness after all.
A happy source hunter means...
Well, yeah, but obviously, if I'm not at least somewhat egoistical and take what I want and get my hands on, I'll imagine some horribleness. I see one of the explodey ones. Blood, the explodey ones. This is basically the one that lies directly on my way back home. I want to deal with this nonsense. Get it done. Alright, what do we have here? We have one mage. We're fumbling on that mage. No. No, you fucking really need to move that away from there because fuck's sake. If I use a fire arrow, wouldn't bows... No, it's worth it. Actually, for once, let's pull them out to us. We don't really have any reason to go in there, or do we? Oh, really, look at that, he's got oiled. If they stay in the oil, I'm gonna put a fire arrow in there. If they're not doing it themselves, that is. Those idiots. I want this little one here, the exoskeleton, to be in the oil. That would be something I would very much like to see. And he's doing me that precise favor. My, it would be a shame if somebody were to use a fire arrow then. I was expecting a bit more exploding, you know?
This arrow seeks more than one target.
That was pretty cool. I was absolutely not expecting and not planning this, but I will claim now that I had absolutely intended to do that.
Pass on the power.
Absolutely. Let nobody doubt that it was precisely what I had in mind. Jesus Christ, that was freaking cool. Do love it when something like this happens, where everything just goes boom, crash, boom. It's fucking awesome, isn't it? A hidden hatch key. You say, game. Oh, then let's collect a bit more of the stuff and then let us be gone with our first little excursion outside. I think that was a very successful little excursion, mind you. We've taken care of the western side. Rather, you know, successfully. We have taken some stuff and I'm feeling rather good about myself, I will admit. I mean, it's not really hidden overly much. What I will go down there. I just would very much like to avoid putting this stuff laying around and then it disappears on me or some horrible nonsense.
Poison consumes me?
Poison indeed consumes you.
It never rains, but it pours, eh?
We've come too far to lose to such foes.
Oh. What do we have down here? Not much. Hardly.
Having a bully day. Pushing, pulling, lifting. Look at them muscles, huh? Just like my days at the fair.
You don't say.
I used to sail the 7 seas with a
Nice. What did you mean with days at the fair, though?
Those were swell times. How people marveled at my feats of strength. Boy, was I the cat's pajamas back then. Anyone could go up against me in a grand old... Now, I'm not a violent man, you know. There's no harm in a little roughhousing now and again. Putting on a show for the roaring crowd. Plenty scrawny against brawny. Could have been a night title fight at the fair. Here, I'm gonna summon an item. Something only Snorri himself could smash. And if you can manage to break it in 35 seconds, you'll have won the chat. There she is, noodle arms. So, what are you made of?
Yeah, what can I say? That is definitely not enough damage. That's a bit better. But I still don't think we're going to have this done. Yeah, I can come back later with a bit more power.
Just as I suspected. Let Snorri show you how it's done. That was easy as cherry pie. What else you got, huh? Put 'em up.
What? Why the fuck are you wanting to... If you wanna fight with me, I guess. Now.
Confound it!
I'll fight with you. He's immune to knockdown, eh? But he does kind of think a bit too much of himself. He's going to regret that. Oh, he's going to regret that very much.
Back on my feet again.
So thanks for your help, man. Ah, wait, you're a Mojo Nocturne, aren't ya? Bit of a waste then. Bam! Bam! I've almost got you down, don't I? Well, I really don't know why the frick he decided that that was a good course of action, so I mean, I kinda, you know, would have told you that this is just how it's going to turn out. But I guess he kinda figured like, well, if they can't break that little orb of mine, then they're probably just weaklings.
I'd prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
Yep, as most usually people do. Did, and it rather nicely, wouldn't you say? Now then, we can actually go back here, and reasonably stocking, we can now walk back. Because we have done well so far. I think it will be a good idea. Playing this for a while to take a little bit of a break. Oh. Because after all, I will be back later on anyway. We still have, you know, the more official Saturday stream to go on. Which will happen, of course. But for the moment, I'm quite happy.
Good to have you back, Sauce Hunter. A sight for sore eyes indeed.
And also, well, I basically only have to, you know,
do with a cold drink.
Do some selling and stuff, and I'm sure you have seen that more than often enough to, you know, have not really any need to see that again. So, with that, let me bid you adieu. For the moment, it is. So, it is Saturday, which means later we have the Nia. Look forward to. I always look forward to that. Which means we've got the weekend, and I do like the music. That's pretty sweet. Also, the game itself is, you know, the game itself, for bad, I wouldn't play it no matter how good the music is. Because then I would just try to copy its music and be done with it. Well, oh well. Yeah, I think we made some good progress here, for once. It felt somewhat rewarding. This is a pretty sweet game. It's not bad. I still think the second one is a bit on the better side, generally. Well, debatable, I suppose. But yeah, without further ado, have a good one in case you're done with me for the day. I'd be sad about that, but you know. Don't worry about me. I will survive. Hopefully. And yeah. Have a good one should be enough for